Everyone, we are next in our EBV'S Explained. We're going to look into the next few, which are the weight traits.
Yep.
What do we got there?
So we've got 200-day weight, 400-day weight, 600-day weight, and we could talk about mature cow weight as part of that package if we're talking about growth. It's sort of a maternal trait as well, but yep.
Okay. So what's the significance of those days?
Yep. So 200 days is about the age that we wean our calves at, so it's basically a weaning weight, and we just adjust it to a point, and in this case the point chosen is 200 days. In the US they do 205 days, doesn't really matter. And then 400 days obviously is just a month or so past yearling. 600 days is about 20 months, which is about when we kill our cattle. And then mature cow weight is, well, it's, you know, obvious it's of weights that are of cows, as you know, past 2-year-old basically, but 2 and up.
Yeah. And so those traits are 0 as a point in time.
Yeah. So the base of it, and this actually applies to all the EBVs, right? 0, the base is set at a certain point back in time. And, you know, I actually don't know which year it is, but let's say it was 1980 or 1975 or something like that. So that would be the breed average at that point in time. So if we, for our 200-day weight, you know, let's say we're talking about a bull that's plus 40, or let's say the breed average is plus 40. I can't actually remember exactly what it's about that. Then that means that the Angus breed is actually weaning calves, genetically weaning, not this is taking the management out of it, but it's weaning weights are 40 kilos heavier than what they were whenever that base was set. So that's genetic gain for you.
Yeah, so which is the 80s in this instance, right, somewhere? Yeah, thereabouts.
Sometimes back then anyway.
So you can see we've made a fair bit of progress.
We've changed cattle a lot, and you look at the old photos, you know, those belt buckle type of animals versus the animal. In fact, actually we went real tall, and then we've come back a little bit moderate in the meantime. So yeah, we've changed animals a lot over that 50 odd years. And that gets reflected in the EBVs that we're.
And those traits are solely based on the actual information is entirely the weights that you're getting given that they're getting given from breeders.
Yep.
Nothing else goes in there.
Well, all the factors that affect it go in there as well. So, you know, the data on, was that animal out of a mixed age cow? When was that animal born within its cohort? So, was an earlier born calf, later born calf? All those things, sex of the calf obviously as well, that influences weight. So all those things go in there, and they make adjustments. So we might say, okay, we don't actually say this. We calculate that say a 6-year-old cow might wean a calf. The average of all the 6-year-old calves might, I'm going to make a figure up here, but you know, she might wean a calf that's 15 kilos or 20 kilos heavier than first calving heifer. So we then adjust the first calving heifer to say, well, if that calf had actually been out of a 6-year-old cow, it would have been 20 kilos heavier. So that happens within the analysis, so that we take out all those management effects, or systematic effects, I suppose, because age of cow is not really management. But yeah, we take those things out first, and then we do the looking at the family and the pedigree and the sire lines.
And that's significant for your average farmer, because say your 200 is if you're selling everything is
selling weaners. Yep.
And then 400 is if you're selling them just out of their first winter, and then your 600. So that's specific to what you're doing on farm, isn't it? Which one you choose to look at.
It is, and there's a matter of philosophy for you too, right? So you probably the bigger picture argument is that actually we should just be breeding cattle to fit the whole system, and it actually doesn't really matter who owns them prior to weaning versus after weaning. And if you're selling at weaning, you would like to know that those calves are actually still going to go on and perform for the next person, and then hopefully that the person who buys them is going to come back and buy them again next year. So
I take it back then, you need to look at all of them.
Yep, but particularly the end points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Stay tuned for our next one, which is going to be the maternal traits.